This is the 71st video in a series dedicated to studying the 101 laws of the Code of the Success Mindset. In this video, we will explore the 71st law, the Law of Diligence. Diligence is one of the most underestimated forces behind financial growth and prosperous living, especially later in life when experience has already taught us that rushing does not take us where we truly want to go. Many people believe that success comes from big, dramatic, explosive moves, but prosperity is built on the foundation of careful observation, thoughtful planning, and actions executed with patience and precision. When you practice diligence, you give yourself the opportunity to grow consistently without sabotaging your efforts with impulsive decisions. Diligence is the art of doing things with attention and awareness. It is not about perfectionism, but rather about consistently choosing the next right step, even when nobody is watching. For individuals in their middle years who are trying to rebuild financially, this becomes crucial. You are no longer in a phase of reckless experimentation. You are in a phase where every detail matters, every habit compounds, and every decision shapes the next decade of your life. Through diligence, you slow down just enough to see what others ignore, to avoid mistakes that drain your finances, and to build something sustainable. Imagine a man named John. He dreamed of starting his own business, but instead of jumping blindly, he studied the process carefully. He learned about financial organization, marketing, products, and the behavior of his ideal customer. He took notes, analyzed patterns, and asked questions. He observed small details that others missed. His success did not appear suddenly. It grew steadily because every step was executed with intention. Now think of another man, Mark. He also had a brilliant idea for a startup, but he rushed. He wanted immediate results. He skipped research, ignored small warning signs, and underestimated costs. His lack of diligence created avoidable problems. His dream collapsed not because he lacked talent, but because he ignored details powerful enough to shape his destiny. In financial life, this pattern repeats constantly. People struggling with money often rush decisions. They buy things impulsively, change jobs without planning, take loans without reading contracts, or invest without understanding risks. Later, they wonder why prosperity feels out of reach. Prosperity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters with attention. Diligence protects you from unnecessary losses. It helps you identify opportunities that others overlook. It strengthens discipline. It creates clarity. When you act diligently, you begin to build a solid financial base, an emergency fund, healthy spending habits, conscious savings, and investments with purpose. You start noticing patterns in your life, how certain expenses sabotage your progress, how certain impulses drain your energy, how certain people influence your decisions. Diligence gives you power because it removes blindness. It turns chaos into structure. It makes the invisible visible. Prosperity after midlife requires a mindset upgrade, not just more information. It demands self-observation. When you slow down, you hear your internal alarms. You notice discomfort before it becomes debt. You recognize temptation before it becomes regret. Without diligence, you move like a person walking in the dark, constantly hitting obstacles, blaming fate, blaming luck. With diligence, you turn on the lights. At this stage of life, you already know how expensive impulsive mistakes can be. Financial scars teach us that speed without direction is just noise. Whoever tries to hurry, success ends up rebuilding the same ruins. But whoever builds slowly, builds forever. Diligence trains your perception. You learn to ask better questions before making decisions. You learn to verify information. You learn to connect dots others don't see. This is how real wealth is created, through consistent, careful, intentional action. A diligent person observes details. They compare prices. They track expenses. They study the contracts they sign. They evaluate opportunities before investing. They know that the smallest leak can sink the largest ship. Many financial problems are not born from giant disasters. They come from repeated tiny oversights. A subscription you don't use, small compulsive purchases, a habit of eating out too often, late fees on bills. These invisible holes drain your financial power. Diligence seals the cracks. But diligence is not just about preventing mistakes. It is also about improving everything you touch. When you review your finances carefully, you find new ways to save, invest, and grow. When you study your habits, you discover patterns that unlock exponential improvements. When you pay attention to the small details of your business or career, you elevate your value in the marketplace. Companies don't promote speed. They promote consistency, precision, and reliability. Diligence makes you rare. To cultivate diligence, you must practice presence. When you're paying bills, pay bills. When you're working, work. When you are planning investments, plan investments. Multitasking is a trap. It fragments the mind and multiplies errors. Diligence requires focus, and focus is a decision. Another key element of diligence is patience. The fastest path is not always the best one. Successful financial journeys are built through calm, consistent steps. Every time you say no to impatience, you say yes to prosperity. Diligence also means learning from errors. Mistakes are not failures, they are feedback. But you only benefit from them when you stop to analyze what happened. Every time something goes wrong in your financial life, ask yourself, what detail did I ignore? What assumption did I not question? What warning did I choose not to see? These reflections sharpen your strategy. Without them, you repeat the same mistakes with new excuses. As you cultivate diligence, you begin to live with more intention. You stop investing energy in things that do not matter. You organize your priorities. You reduce distractions. You build routines that reinforce your goals. Prosperity is not produced by one extraordinary effort. It is the result of thousands of ordinary actions executed carefully. When you embody diligence, you begin to notice small improvements in your financial condition. Fewer unnecessary expenses, more consistent savings, smarter investments, better professional decisions. You begin to experience something priceless: control. Not control of the external world, but control of yourself. This inner control is what unlocks freedom. In relationships, diligence helps you listen better, observe patterns, and avoid conflicts born from assumptions. In health, it makes you attentive to habits that create vitality. In business, it increases your value and your reputation. In personal growth, it makes your evolution constant. Diligence touches everything. It is a universal amplifier. The world around you is noisy, impulsive, and rushed. Everyone wants the next shiny strategy, the new shortcut, the secret hack. But shortcuts cut results. When you choose diligence, you choose mastery. You choose long-term thinking. You choose the path that few are willing to take because they want success without the foundation. Greatness without the foundation collapses. Prosperity does not respond to desire. It responds to structure. And structure is built through diligence. It is invisible in the beginning, but undeniable in the end. Years from now, your prosperity will not be defined by one big decision, but by thousands of small, careful actions. So today, make a commitment to observe more, to analyze more, to reflect before acting. Give attention to the details. Build systems. Track progress. Question your assumptions. And most importantly, be patient. Wealth that comes slowly stays. Wealth that comes fast disappears. Your success is not a race, it is a construction. If this video made sense to you, give it a like, drop a comment below, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe with the bell on so you won't miss a thing. And if you want to take the next step to transform your financial mindset, check out the link in the first comment below.